a really difficult part of healing is when you have to apply the things that you know when things get bad or sad. And that's honestly what's happening to me right now. Like, I am going through a breakup, and understanding that this is a blessing, it's such a difficult thing, because you already been through so much sadness and unfair situations, and you have, after that experience, so much happiness and blessings, that whenever you go again back to the sadness or the crisis or adversity, you again have to tell yourself, like, this is happening for something good. But just because this is happening for something good, it doesn't mean it's not painful, and it's not horrible, it's not terrible, you know. And one of the things that I'm always really grateful about whenever I go through any sort of heartbreak is to realizing that prioritizing myself and my business and me as a person, as a professional, is the smartest thing that I can do while I am in a relationship. Because when you work on yourself, but you do not lose yourself in the process of loving someone, when you lose that person, you understand that that's all you lost. A person. You didn't lose your life, you didn't lose your identity, you didn't lose your time, you didn't lose your hobbies, you didn't lose your weekends, you didn't lose any of that, because you know that you still have yourself. And that is something that it took me such a long time to understand, that now that I have applied it, not only for the better but also for the worse, which is when we are breaking up, it's like, yeah, you know, I do not regret prioritizing myself, my work, my career, even though I was in a relationship, because the only thing I'm grieving is just the time we spent together and the things we were doing together. I'm not even, like, you know, grieving a potential of that person, because I always kept myself really grounded when it came to what I was experiencing with that person romantically, you know. Yeah, of course we dream, right, with like a future, or we dream with something bigger and better together. But if it doesn't happen, it's fine, because you were also living in the moment. I feel like a lot of people also, they kind of like live a fantasy of a relationship, when in reality they are not in a good relationship. That's why I always really thought to, or try to keep myself like grounded in the relationship. And you know, like, heartbreak is horrible, it's terrible, because you know, like, love is such a beautiful, like, romantic love is such a beautiful way to discover yourself. And sometimes it's so sad to see, like, what you thought you wanted is not going to happen. It sucks, actually, but there's only much you can do. You know, at the end of the day, you always have your projects, your family, that people who love you, and you also have yourself. And I know that doesn't sound like anything, but when you think about it, you have everything, because only you can control your mind, your thoughts. You can dictate what you want to happen in your life. But when you don't have any of that, even if you are in a relationship, you will probably not be happy. And I'm feeling super sad, to be honest, but I'm just dealing with it. Because, you know, I always like to think of what's ahead. And I know, like, what's ahead is so nice and it's so pretty, that it's asking me to let go of something that I love a lot. So it feels good to cry, you know, because it's so much better to let your emotions out, instead of like just always being confused by other person. And you know, what I take from this relationship is honestly like I was able to, as cliche as it sounds, to find myself through that relationship again. Like, loving that person made me really love myself, and that's a really beautiful thing.